Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Crypto Waffle episode 45. Today's topics are Coinbase's monthly outlook, key insights from Coinbase's latest report, what it means for altcoins liquidity and the next leg of the market, gems of the week, this week's high conviction pick or picks, why it's on our radar and how it can play out, and then Monero versus Qubic, how a little known chain is giving Monero a mountain of headaches and what it means for privacy coins. So, what would you like to start with, sir?
Let's start with the market, sir. We've had a almost alt season like run in the last few days. How are you feeling? Is it time for me to put my Lambo on order, or should I relax for a few more weeks?
I'd still relax. September's not over yet.
You still think we get a pullback in September?
Yeah. And today's Bitcoin dominance chart would, if today's candle closes where it is now, back at 58, I mean, I'll share screen quickly. It would show a fake out from the current bear flag that we were in.
We had a nice move on Doge.
Yeah, this here.
Over the last week.
I'll pull it up in a second. But yeah, this Bitcoin dominance is obviously, we've definitely had a change of trend now. So if you go back out for ages, we're on this Bitcoin dominance train that just seemed to never end. And then finally, it started to crack in July and finally fully broke down in August. And since then, we're just looking for trend to continue. Now, obviously, on the way down, there will be bounces along the way. This thing won't fall in a straight line. There will be little spots where we pause for a week or two or a month, whatever that may be.
It looks like it's taken a lot longer than it did in 2021. It looks like the fall seems to be a lot slower.
Let's zoom out. 2021 was weird though, because we had that double peak, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, like, this was September 2020. And then that would have been the back end of 17-18 bull market, wouldn't it?
Oh, no, was that? It's like said 19 there. That was strange.
Yeah, in September 2019, that is.
Oh,
And then
that was.
this
That
peak
was
here is January 2021. So that was the Bitcoin dominance rally of the bull market of 17-18. That was where it peaked. And you could say, because of COVID, we kind of had a really shallow correction before ultimately blowing off when we had ridiculous amounts of QE pushed into the markets, and which is why we got such a harsh correction on the way down, something like that. But in the shorter term, so in the next week, 2, maybe 3 weeks, on the daily, what we have been seeing is a nice series of what you could call bear flags. And a bear flag is where you have the trend of the chart coming to the downside, and then it will form sideways or maybe vertical consolidations on the way down. And that's what you can kind of see that we've had marked in yellow there. So we come down, form a bear flag, break down again, another bear flag, break down again. And this one that we look to have broken on Friday, obviously that we had that pump over the weekend, has since corrected. Now, this in my book could be called or classed as a fake out. Now, normally when you get a fake out, you do see an extended move in the opposite direction. So the direction of the fake out was to the downside. We likely see some sort of opposite direction break to the upside. Now, I'd be looking for probably something around the 60%, potentially even this bigger, not 60%, sorry, the 59.3, and then potentially the 60.5, which is this larger area of support, or which is now resistance. And obviously, if Bitcoin dominance bounces, that would suggest a pullback in alts. And you mentioned a minute ago, Doge. Let me pull that up. This one here. So you can see we've had a breakout of this, what you could call as a larger wedge triangle pattern, whatever you want to call it. And we've had that breakout. We've come into a key area of resistance, as you can see, marked out by this red box, around 30 cents. Now, when you get these, this is showing a breakout. What you then look for if you're trading is to buy on the retest. So if we do come back into this 22 to call it 24 cent range, that is a screaming buy in any bull's book. So look out for that. And that'll probably happen across the board. Another one you could do that with is Hyperliquid. You can kind of see, if I get rid of this squiggle, we had this kind of flat top ascending triangle here. We've broken out. I'm sure if we zoom into the daily, what you'd now be looking for is a retest of this, what was prior resistance, or which should be now support. So again, if Hyperliquid comes into that 49.50 area, that's a screaming buy in my book. So you'll see that across lots of things. Solana, you can see into major resistance, probably needs a little time to cool off. Link, just kind of chopping around. Xano, up at the highs, consolidating, probably just waiting to go higher. So yeah, markets are looking good. Although I think it's too early to say September's going to be a ripper. Obviously, we've got big economic data this week. I believe it
What have we
is.
got? What's coming up this week?
I think we've got FOMC, US,
It's not the It's not the. It's not the
and
Fed
rates.
rates. Is that
Yeah, I
this
think
week?
it is 17th, I believe. Yeah,
So,
Tuesday we've got US retail,
yeah, that's right.
home
That's
builder.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah,
Is
Wednesday we've got FOMC interest rate decision and Fed Chair Powell press conference. And on
um
Thursday we've got initial claims. So they're probably the main three, which is the Wednesday and the Thursday I'll be interested in.
20, 25 basis points decrease.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, if you were to look at Poly Market, I'm sure we can probably see that's
I
probably
can
like most likely going to happen.
I can show you right now.
I don't know if it's. I mean, he was very dovish at his last FOMC, like unexpectedly dovish. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw like a out the bat 50% basis cut. But one of the guys that I'll follow on X, I think he's called the Fed guy, used to work at the Fed. He's saying that actually Powell could come out and be quite hawkish. Now, if he was to come out and they didn't cut, I think that would be a big shock.
No, he's definitely going to cut.
Most likely, but I think they're the ones that are underpriced. The no change and the 50% basis point.
In true polymarket fashion, if there's something that has a slim chance, polymarket stamps all over it and makes it almost no chance. People just eking out profits on quite easy trades, I guess, and they definitely overbuy those sorts of things. 90% looks good to me.
I
Normally, I
think we
think,
probably get it. I mean, there's
yeah,
jobs data that backed it as well
it's
last
very
week.
rare that there'll be this much volume on a market and the market is wrong. I don't think I've seen that since maybe the Trump election, but that kind of swung quite heavily once the French guy had put in that vote.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, once he had done that.
I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Do you have any different thoughts from me?
Yeah, I'm more bullish. I think that we have to start now. Otherwise, if we do get this flush that you're calling for, October and November or December are
See,
going
I
to
don't know
be
if
crazy.
it's difficult. I don't know if it will be a flush as in like BTC price, pardon me, or if it will be a flush as in like altcoins. I mean, I see a world in which Bitcoin has like some I can't think of the word that I want to say, but an unrealistic circumstance where Bitcoin could come down to 100 again. Now, obviously,
Right.
we'd need a trigger for it.
I don't think it even have to go as low as 100, does it? If it goes down to 105, 106, I
Yeah,
think alts could really get hammered. And
yeah.
then
I
you've got
think I
your
think we could. There's a world in which I see a massive flush, and I'm talking like a flush down to like 90s, 95 maybe to 100, something like that. Obviously, you're going to need a serious catalyst to for that to happen. I don't know what that catalyst is. No one is.
Trump
Am I
Trump
actually
bans
going to?
Trump bans Bitcoin maybe.
Nah, it's not happening. But I mean, And would I do am I doing anything to my portfolio to hedge that? No, like at all. Because if we got that, I just think this cycle gets pushed forward. Like a lot of the data that I've been looking at, and we'll see today, Coinbase are in agreement with you saying that September should be bullish and should continue to be bullish. I'm in the camp that September, and I'm pretty sure I said at the start, historically, we normally have in post-election, post-halving years, we historically get a pullback in September. Now we're only midway through. We've still got half the month to go. We started off September pretty well. Bitcoin was around 107. Now we're at 114, which is not bad in a couple months. But we've still got half the month, and I don't. If it doesn't happen in September, I think it could be October. Obviously,
Well,
if we rip through both of them, I was totally wrong. But have I done anything in my portfolio really to hedge that? Not really. I'm short a bit of ETH at the minute. Other than that, I haven't done anything.
well, interestingly, I think this cycle, I know we say it every cycle, but this cycle, things have been different. The
Yeah.
timings have been different. So we hit our all-time high before our halving, which was a first, mostly because of ETFs. And we've started to track this M2 money supply a lot closer for a first time.
Although we've
Most,
deviated from that at the moment,
although we've deviated now, yeah. But it previously that wasn't a thing. Nobody even checked those two things or put them together. And this time, I think, although the same things have happened, I think the timings have been very different. So we got our all-time high earlier. We had that quite big rally at the end of 24, which was pretty big.
and we had a
And then,
ridiculous summer of chop in what 24.
yeah, when literally nothing happened
Was it
after
from? It was from March till October,
October, yeah.
where we
Yeah.
literally just had. It was just flat. Like Bitcoin just ranged from 73 to 50 for what's
But
that, 7 months?
arguably, we've had the same for the last, has it been 2 months? How long have we had Bitcoin between 110 and 120?
Well, I mean, it depends because we actually peaked out in December 24 at 107,
Hmm.
and then we went from there to 74 and
We
back
came right
up.
back down, yeah.
But the local range, like I would say, is from call it July to where we are now,
Yeah.
which is that 107 to 123.
July, August, September. So 3 months. We had a good 3 months of sitting still. I think we still get probably another month before we actually move
Possibly.
away. Yeah. If we get a flush, then I think the rebound off of that flush will be something of legend.
Yeah. I mean, there's another thing. So I was watching the podcast earlier, and obviously a lot of people are saying, oh, rate cut is priced in, rate cut is priced in, blah, blah, blah. If you actually think about it for a second, and rather than just think, oh yeah, markets are forward looking, they've priced that rate cut in. They actually haven't though, because I myself, so I have some money in a high interest savings account, right? And I am earning or was earning 4.5% on that. I'm now earning, I'm just going to load it up to be accurate. I believe it's, 3.85%. So if rates get cut again and I'm only earning, say, 3.5 or 3.7, 3.6, and they continually get cut,
We've got to
I
put
am
that money
likely
to
to pull that
work.
money out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of the money that gets freed up, and I believe we looked at a report a couple months ago, was a 7.5 trillion in money
Yeah.
market funds, I believe, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That won't actually get unlocked until the rates have been cut. Because
Yeah.
I'm still leaving mine in there until they get to a point where I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to move it.
Yeah.
And I and that's just me. So imagine how many millions of people there are across the world that will be doing the exact same.
Yeah. And institutions now.
Yeah, and institutions. Because they'll be getting a certain amount on their bonds or whatever. And then if they get cut again, they'll be like, hang on a minute, this is not enough now. It's not worth the risk. We need to go out.
Yeah. Or businesses won't really want to be sitting in cash. Although I guess the counter argument is that stocks are pretty high at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's one kind of strange thing that we're seeing is the Fed, and we've only got 2 days till they announce it, but this would be one out of 2 previous times, I believe, that the Fed has cut rates with the S&P at all-time highs. I can't remember in the podcast what those other 2 times were, but they were a very long time ago.
I think the issue is saying that the S&P's at all-time highs is wrong. I think realistically now the dollar is at all-time lows, because not only is the S&P at all-time highs, but miraculously so is gold, and miraculously Bitcoin's not far off it either.
Yeah, but we all know why that is as well. It's because they're printing money.
Money printer go burr, baby.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, they're going to drop the rates, increase the velocity of money, but they're going to have to continue to print. And I think that's the most important thing, because the dollar is declining in value as we speak. So is the pound, so is the euro, so is the yen. Pick your fiat scam coin of choice. It's declining in value against gold, the dollar, and even silver now.
They're all getting battered.
Yeah. So I guess it is business as usual. Nothing really has changed this week. We've not seen anything in the markets that's really made us think, oh my goodness, this is different. We were kind of expecting us to range. Nothing special's happened. Obviously, Doge has made the nice move and the alts made a nice move into the weekend. And I reckon we'll get another nice move on Wednesday if our
Wednesday will be weird. Like it, I wouldn't really worry about what happens on the Wednesday. I'd wait for the weekly close.
Well, interestingly, the days that I feel like move crypto the most are Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays, obviously, because liquidity is thinner. But Wednesdays, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but over the years, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is literally anecdotal, it'd be interesting to see. But over the years, it feels like Wednesday is the most volatile day out of Monday to Friday. I wonder if there's a way we can check that.
I'd just ask ChatGPT or Gemini quick.
Yeah, go on then. Ask them and see what they say. What's the most volatile day for Bitcoin price? I'm going to ask as well. Who have you asked?
I'm going to use Gemini.
All right, I'll use chat then. What's the most? You'll have to. Don't worry about my noisy keyboard. Week historically. The BTC price. Right, this is ChatGPT 5 as well.
So some analysis indicates that Thursday can be the day of high volatility.
Yeah. Okay. This one says Monday.
Yeah. So I've jumped ahead there and just saw the Thursday, but it does say based on several studies and analysis, the most volatile day for Bitcoin is a Monday.
I think that's just because it will open higher compared to the Friday. I bet you that's how they're counting that. Because it will open higher. On Tuesday and Wednesday are the most stable. Okay, well, that's my theory out the window, according to ChatGPT.
Yeah. But I mean, there's not much to do. Although I've seen a fair bit of panicking from people that obviously haven't been positioned in a couple of group chats. Received a couple messages on Instagram as well. And people thinking the train's leaving the station. And it's on days like this today, where we've got like a 5% drop in Doge, 7% drop in Fartcoin, 7% drop in Deep, in many of things where if you think you've missed the boat, this is where you add.
And I bet they don't.
Probably not. But I personally, if you had anything and you were unsure of what to do with it, I always normally say this, is I put half in now and I'll leave the rest and wait and see. If the market gives you an opportunity to buy lower than when your first lot went in, happy days, you've got cheaper assets. If it didn't, it is what it is. At least you got some skin in the game and you still got some cash.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So moving forward, we're expecting more of the same, more ranging, possibly a little September flush out, but we're not putting our houses on it.
No.
More waiting.
Doing minimal. We're doing what we have to do a lot of the time in the crypto market, and that is nothing.
And that is wait.
Yeah. You position, you do nothing for a very long period of time, and then it all happens within a week or two.
Yeah. Oh, those weeks are majestic. Marvelous.
Yeah, they are the most manic weeks of all.
It did feel like to me, I guess it was Friday of last week. Is that my face? This was like Friday of last week when things started to move. It did feel like to me like this is it. I thought I was
No,
feeling
I'm not getting that feeling yet.
hmm,
I don't know
like
whether
this is it.
it's because fear and greed, right? That's sitting at, where are we at that on there? Oh, it's not even on there. Let me get it up.
I think a lot of it's because of the time of the year when it is like this time of the year historically,
Like
maybe a little
sentiment
bit later,
on
October,
Twitter's
November.
shit, which I think is good because you want sentiment to be absolute trash before we move. Fear and
Is
greed
that
sat at 51 neutral.
with Twitter and sentiment? I think that's a good topic actually. How reliable can Twitter sentiment now
Yeah, but you
be?
got to remember it's everyone's personal algorithm that's different. So like
Yeah,
your algorithm could be like mega bullish,
my
where
algorithm is horrific and racist. My algorithm is just trying to upset me daily. If I pay attention to the Twitter algorithm and I believe that it's true, I think everybody is absolutely furious and everybody hates everybody. My
yeah,
Twitter
because I
algorithm.
mean mine I follow a lot of like macro guys, technical analysis, and that's kind of it really, and degens. Now the degens are real quiet. I haven't been seeing any of the degen stuff come up. I'm like the guys that I'm usually look at, I'm having to actually search their name to see if they've been posting, right?
And they haven't been.
Well, they have. It's just that it hasn't been hitting my algorithms,
Oh, right. Okay.
right?
Okay.
So it's obviously they're not getting much engagement.
Yeah.
Degens are a bit low.
Yeah.
It's the more macro people that I'm seeing at the minute. There's
Okay.
always a bit of TA guys coming through, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of macro bears out there, and we know
Yeah.
historically the bear porn sells the best.
Yes.
So
Which is the
it
problem.
always gets the most engagement, and my thing seems to be full of just bearish sentiment at the moment, which is fine, which is realistically what I want to see, because that shows me that no one's positioned if we do rip, and
It
you
would
know
be
it full well that they're going to chase if we do.
it would be interesting more if it was a if we knew it was a more accurate reflection of actual sentiment
Yeah,
as opposed to
but
the attention
I mean,
economy.
I would like to say it's quite a good thing because the people I follow are quite big, like they're not tiny. Like some of the smaller ones, you get a feel in the comments. If you read the comments, they're like, "Oh, when's the rocket ship taking off? Like, am I too early? Am I too late?" And like you're seeing all these people comment underneath. So you get, I think you get quite a good read. But then again, obviously the best one is the just fear and greed index. But at neutral, it feels like if we were to rip from here, there's loads of people sidelined, like
Yes.
loads of people sidelined,
Yeah.
and you know full well that they will chase that pump.
Yeah. And there's loads of people, loads of people are not even in yet. When you
Yeah,
start getting on the news, Bitcoin new all-time highs, oh,
indeed.
this coin done 300% overnight, all the casuals will come back. I saw a thing on Instagram that said that the word millionaire will soon be replaced by the word whole coiner.
Really?
Yes, so people will no longer be calling like rich people millionaires. They'll be like, "Oh, that person's a whole coiner."
To be
Whole
fair, that
coiner,
has been one of the goals from the start is to get own a couple Bitcoin.
and it's higher Bitcoin. Yeah,
Yeah,
become a whole coiner.
a whole coiner.
I think that's an interesting new social.
To be
Uh,
fair, I wouldn't have said that's new. I've known that since I joined in like 2020.
okay, maybe it's new to me then. Yeah, it's new to
Yeah,
me.
a lot
I've
of people are like
not
trying.
heard people say
Like you
it.
see all these people tweeting that I bought. It might be like 50p's worth of Bitcoin today, but I'm one step closer to being a whole coiner and blah blah blah. Like they go on these challenges, and then there'll be one bloke that posts going, "I've made it. I'm now a whole coiner." Blah blah
Do
blah.
you know what the problem is? It's like increasingly difficult.
Yeah,
It's so you might get
you're
to a
fighting
half
against the
coin.
tide.
You're literally, and it's the tide's running away from you.
Yeah,
You're trying your hardest to go and get this whole coin, but as time goes on, a whole coin is just getting more and more expensive.
yeah.
It's
It's
like
been getting increasingly more difficult as it goes.
yeah, yeah. Well, good luck to everybody on that journey.
Indeed, indeed.
I am rooting for you all. So, shall we move on? Do you want to do your report?
Yeah, we'll jump into the reports. I was just annotating beforehand to make it easier, but I didn't have time to go through all of it. I did go through this last week, so I vaguely remember some stuff in it and where to look, but we'll go through it anyway. So this is the Coinbase Institutional Monthly Outlook. for September, and it's titled Debunking the Seasonal Myth. This, again, as we showed, I believe, 2 episodes ago, you can find this on Coinbase's website. This is not behind a paywall. It is fully accessible for everyone.
Free alpha, baby.
Indeed. So let's kick it off. We believe that the crypto bull market has room to run in early quarter 4 2025, driven by resilient liquidity and macro backdrop, as well as supportive regulatory dynamics. In our view, Bitcoin in particular continue to outperform market expectations as it benefits directly from existing macro tailwinds. And they go on to say this is barring a shock to energy prices. We think the imminent risk to disrupting the current US monetary policy path is actually quite low. So Coinbase, all those bears out there that I'm seeing, Coinbase again, not happening. This is unlikely. They go on to say, however, the seasonality question continues to haunt the crypto space and historically, Bitcoin has experienced 6 consecutive declines against USD in September between 2017 and 2022. While this trend leads many investors to believe the seasonality significantly impacts crypto performance, this assumption would have been incorrect in 2023 and 2024. But the difference in these years is that these were post-halving years. When do we halve this cycle?
24.
24. So the only outlier here is 24. 23 is kind of irrelevant to what I was saying earlier because these are post-halving years.
Yeah, well, 22 is kind of not, because we halved in 2020. So
Did we?
yeah, so it's every 4 years. It's
okay. I'm incorrect in my facts. I can only apologise.
Well, no, 2017 is correct. 16 was a halving year. 2020 was a halving year. So 2022 is a weird one because that was like a horrid year. That was FTX collapse and all that stuff that year.
Yeah, that was bear market start, wasn't it?
Yeah, bad bear market.
Yeah. They then go on to say, we believe that we're currently in the player versus player phase of the cycle, which can continue to drive capital into the large cap crypto names. Next page, heading into Q4, we maintain a constructive outlook on crypto markets, anticipating continued support from robust liquidity and favorable macroeconomic environment and encouraging regulatory developments. Our monetary policy, we expect the Federal Reserve will deliver rate cuts on both September the 17th and October the 29th. So they're saying regardless, they're in line with Poly Market for September the 17th. And they're also saying that they cut again in October. I don't know what Poly Market says on that.
I don't think there is one for October. The next one that Poly Market is talking about is December.
Well, Coinbase have got October here, so there might be something coming up in October. But they go on to say, indeed, we argued in August that the lower interest rates could lead a significant portion of the 7.4 trillion sitting in money market funds to come off the sidelines. That's briefly what we discussed earlier. So we would have to wait for those cuts to come into effect. People would get the email or the notification saying, we've lowered the interest rate that you're now getting to blah, blah, blah. And they'd be going, oh my God, I'm not doing that. That's rubbish. And they're then going to pull it out and put it into something. And that will push our bags higher, hopefully. That said, a significant shift in current inflation trajectory would pose risks to this outlook if, for example, energy prices picked up. So they're saying a risk there is if oil prices picked up or any event was to happen that maybe causes a spike in oil or other energy prices. Bitcoin dedicated DATs now hold over 1 million Bitcoin, representing approximately 5% of the token circulating supply. Similarly, the top ETH dedicated DATs collectively own around 4.9 million ETH, 21.3 billion, representing over 4% of the total ETH supply. And you can see a nice little chart here of the companies and their holdings of ETH.
Do you think that's a bad thing for ETH that so many, especially with it being proof of stake, so much of the ETH supply is now being held by DATs?
I think not current levels. I think they're only representing 4%. No, but if that was to get toward double figures, I think there could be that argument for it.
Problem is, it definitely does, because unlike Bitcoin, holding ETH begets you more ETH because
Yeah.
of staking. So
Yeah.
that, well, let's see. That might become an issue.
But then again, I think we will have the natural cleansing at some point where they will just be forced to puke their positions because everyone's jumping on board on it, but we'd have to see. They also mentioned in this paragraph here the capital containment for other tokens is also growing, particularly in Sol and other altcoins. Forward-looking industries recently raised 1.65 billion to fund the Sol-based DApp backed by Digital Galaxy, Jump Crypto, and Multicoin Capital. For now, we think that cycle is maturing, but it's neither early or late. And that's key here. This is their seasonality. Meanwhile, the question of seasonality continues to accompany the minds of market players in the crypto space. Bitcoin declined against USD in 6 consecutive Septembers between 2017 and 2022, with an average negative return of 3% over the last 10 years. That gives many investors the impression that seasonality heavily influences crypto's performance and that September will be a bad time to hold risk. Yet, if you were to trade on this assumption, you would have been wrong in both 2023 and 2024. Indeed, we don't think monthly seasonality is particularly useful for trading signal for Bitcoin across frequency plots, logic odd ratios, out of sample scoring, whatever the hell that is, placebo checks and controls. The message is the same. Month of the year isn't a statistically dependable predictor of whether monthly log returns will be positive or negative for Bitcoin. And they've got this lovely little heat map here where you can see the months that have the most green bars is basically positive, and the ones that have more red bars is negative.
It doesn't, and there doesn't seem to be a month that.
I mean, if you looked at Q4, so you looked at October, November, December, there's a
Yeah,
lot more
maybe
green across
a lot
all of
more
them than
green.
there is
Yeah,
red.
true.
September and August, or late Q3, you'd argue red.
Yeah, they look more
Okay.
stretched. Yeah.
And then you'd also argue that potentially, I mean, if you were to add January next to October, November, December, I would argue that January looks pretty green as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time it's just slow, steady up and to the right. But yeah, this heat map gives you quite a good guide. There's different like maps or versions of tables you can look for this. Like one of them, or quite a lot of them do just have the percentages, but I quite like their heat version. I mean, if you're colorblind, you're screwed. But yeah, you have to find another one. Positive long returns rate for Bitcoin with 99%. That's nothing really special, nor's that. What's this one? Placebo. No. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Like, if you want to dive deeper, by all means, get yourself over there and actually have a look yourself. If you don't understand of this and you're new to crypto, you don't understand any of the lingo that was just talked about, what you can do is download this report, put it into ChatGPT, Gemini, or some sort of other AI. Tell it the words you don't understand, and it will spit out lovely things that will help you understand it. And if you still don't understand it, ask it to explain it to you like a 5-year-old, and it will
Or,
put it in simple terms.
or better still, go to cryptowaffle.fun, look for the Telegram group, join it, and chat to our community because we have got all of the experts in there.
Yeah,
Loads
we
of,
have it indeed.
loads of knowledgeable people.
So that is the Coinbase report this week.
That's a nice report. I like that Coinbase are going somewhat against the grain of bearishness. And yeah, the issue is we are looking for um, indicators, and it's a question of putting these things put them into perspective. So maybe September's a good month, or it has been this many times out of the last few years, but at the same time, interest rates are heading down. How much of an indicator is that? As we
And
was talking, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and also, it's kind of irrelevant as we just showed on that heat map. Even if September is bad, what does Q4 historically look like?
Yeah, it's
Green, green, and green.
yeah,
So you got to look at the bigger picture. I know everyone gets drawn into like day to day, week to week, but you have to zoom out, look at that bigger picture, and go, okay, I could go away for the whole of September. I'd likely come back in mid Q4, and it will probably be up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, let me just go into hibernation, wake up at the end of September,
Yeah.
and then move my money. I was saying recently, whilst we were on a call elsewhere, that if we don't get a massive move in altcoins in the next 3 months, then for the first time in my memory, this cycle has actually been different. So, and I always say that everybody feels like it's going to be different, it's going to be, and it never is different. It's always along the lines the same. So, I think we get that move. I do think so. So, whilst we were talking just now, I was looking at Polymarket, and there is actually a
Meeting
market.
in October.
Yeah, there is a market for. Well, I know there'd be a meeting, but the question was, is there a market, which I hadn't seen? But in the market, there is a 70% chance of a
They're
move,
cutting rates again.
25% down. Yeah.
Okay.
On this one, I would definitely say that the no change is underpriced, because there is much more of a chance that you get a no change in
I'll tell
October.
you what would be good
22%.
if you had, or if we buy, or were to buy, no change here. If they then come and cut 50 basis points
This will shoot up.
this week, yeah,
This will shoot up.
that could be a good trade.
Yeah. And also, do you know what it'll really be based on? I guess how he speaks.
Yeah,
So if he speaks in a way that, like, we're going to do this one, but then we might not do another one until
yeah.
December,
But I
it
think he'll
shoots
just
up.
say what he's been saying the whole time. We're going to be waiting for data.
He pretty much always says nothing, doesn't he? In a
Yeah.
really roundabout
Well,
way.
his last one, he was very dovish, so it wouldn't surprise. I don't know if he's going to keep on that dovish train just because of the unemployment rate and whatnot, because they come in pretty bad. But
D- Do you feel like he was very dovish, or do you feel like people were possibly trying to hang on every
no, he
word
definitely come out more dovish than he has
than
was
usual?
previous
Okay.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, I listen to them because I'm a sado, but you can tell his tone, like the way he talks, and they use all these fancy words, right? It's the way he got them across. You're like, okay, hang on a minute, he's changed his tune.
Hmm.
So
December is looking like another decrease. As people had said, 75 basis points stretched across 3 different cuts. People are still leaning towards that, although it's now becoming quite shallow, with
yeah,
this being only at 60% and this no change being at 31%. Um, let's wait and see.
yeah, it'd be interesting.
Last topic, I guess, before we do our predictions and whatnot.
We to briefly do gems.
Or do you want to do gems? Okay. All right, hold on. Let me not share that. I don't know if my gem, if I've already done it or
Well,
not.
I've got a DAT. I think it's a DAT as the gem this week.
You gave me a brilliant meme coin during the week.
Did I?
Yeah. And it was at like 30 something million, or maybe even.
Yeah, I know which one. Do I give the DAT? Or do you want to give that meme coin?
I can't remember what it was.
Uranus.
And that's rude.
So
All right.
I'm happy to give the DAT.
Do the dat, because I think that's probably more of a gem. The other one's more of a bit of fun.
I think it's a DAT. I believe it's a DAT. Anyway, this is some more alpha for anyone that watches this show. Okay, and I put it out for VIPs today. So sorry, VIPs, if you get angry with me for sharing this, but I'm
What
afraid
did
it's
I
got
pay
to be
my
done.
money for if you're just going to give it to those freeloading cheapskates anyway?
It's got to be done. So anyway, there's this goat on X I follow called Capital Flows. Highly recommend following him. Anyway, I read this thread on this. This is the
By the
DAT
way, by the way,
HYPD. Go on.
by the way, just quickly, right? Joined in March 2023.
Who this guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's only just got here.
but you know what that tells me?
That he
That
was
he's a
busy doing
boomer.
other stuff.
No, he's a boomer. I
Probably
could be wrong.
19.
I could be wrong, but I have the feeling and the knowledge that he drops like for free is ridiculous. By the way,
Okay. Okay.
abnormally ridiculous.
Okay.
Anyway, really smart guy. I like watching his videos. His content's great. Anyway, he dropped this thing around the 10th of September, I think that was. Yeah, 10th of September. I read it, and as always, I bookmarked it and never come back to it. Anyway, I come back to it today, and I see that is down 20% today alone. Okay. He says in that thread, to cut it short for everyone, that it has the or he sees the potential for it to go to 25. So you're looking at about 100% return from current price. Now, what I'm seeing, if we were to get there, is the potential for this massive head and shoulders. Okay. So it's not to say that this thing can't go higher. Just because he said it going to $25 doesn't mean it's got to stop there. But if it does get above
Big head
those
and
areas, yeah, you could be looking at ridiculous gains. Obviously, I don't expect that to happen within the next year or two, but I still think you could see ridiculous gains. And the other reason why I like this, and this will be for UK specific people only, is that I can buy this in my stocks and shares ISA. So any gain that is from this is 100% tax free and is probably massive compared to the standard gains you get in stocks. The other thing I quite like from a technical point of view is our 1020 cross has just flashed bullish. The last time I did that for a period of time was over here. Obviously, it wasn't a DAT then, so you could say that's irrelevant, but it moved from 170 to 476, which is about 180% move. Even though it's a short period of time, I think this thing just has potential. And you could also say, well, you're fucking stupid buying it here. Why didn't you buy it down here at $1? Well, I wasn't looking at that when it was $1. So that's why I didn't buy it. So you could say I've already missed the 10x, but I'm quite happy coming in here trying to buy or trying to get it for a 1 or 2x.
You'd have to have some real conviction in
buying
that
that down here at $1.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, how I'm playing this is I am risking a certain amount of money. I have put in a certain amount of money today. I believe at around 12.50, so it's below where I bought. I'm seeing what happens over the next couple of days. I'm hoping we get a bit of a deeper pullback to around that like 10 ish, and that's where I'd look to go in again. If it doesn't go down there, I won't go in any further. Maybe I FOMO in at like 13. Who knows? But I'm just keeping an eye on it. But only risk the money you can afford to lose, because this is like a 72 mil market cap thing. It's tiny.
These are the zombie companies of the world that are previously busy doing something else. Like when I looked this up, this is supposed to be some sort of technology company. Obviously, that's not made them much money, or they're not, or they've realized maybe they are making money, but they've realized we'll make more money just buying and holding crypto.
Yeah. In his thread about it, though, he goes into great detail, like macro wise, and why he thinks that one will particularly do well. So I'd highly recommend reading that thread before you just kind of pile in.
Which is a good thing, right? Because with some of these DAT plays, there are deterministic reasons why these things will do well.
And this is specifically for a hype DAT, by the way. So it's not ETH, not Solana, not Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's Hyperliquid.
Right.
So, I mean, and if you didn't have access to the DAT, another way of playing this would be just buying hype outright.
You think hype is still a buy even after the massive?
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, if we get a retest of, give me 1 second, where are we? Yeah, we get a retest of that 49 to 51. Yeah, that's a breakout retest of an ascending triangle, and that triangle is targeting $75. So you could be looking at a 25% move.
From a, I guess, somewhat fundamental point of view, the power that Hyperliquid really has is that it has all the volume.
Yeah, sorry, not 25%, 50% move, but yeah, also all the volume. And it'd be interesting to see if they continue to do stuff or what they come out and
Yeah.
announce that they're going to do with it.
Yeah, yeah, and they are building on their chain. They are starting to do things. So it is quite exciting times. It'll be interesting to see how big that comes. But I read somewhere recently that they've made more money, or they are now making more money than the Nasdaq. Their
Who
revenues.
knows? It would not surprise me at all, because the amount of
Their revenues.
liquidity that they have on there is a joke.
Yeah, apparently their revenues are now higher than the Nasdaq, going purely to buying back the hype token. They've got a team of 11 people, as opposed to the Nasdaq, which I guess is low numbers, 4 digits, maybe 1,000 odd people. So they're doing pretty well. They are doing pretty well. But yeah,
We
okay.
shall
So
have to see.
we'll touch on this last topic. I'll have to make it quick. I think I tried to speak about this before, and we didn't really get around to it. But there have been more developments. So, did I tell you guys about Monero versus Qubic?
No, not I can remember.
Right. So, Monero have got this mining proof of work algorithm, which uses an algorithm called, it's not called DirectX. I forget what this algorithm's called, right? But anyway, there's another project, a really small project called Qubic. And what Qubic has done is they've changed, or they've made their algorithm so that you can mine Monero and get Qubic. Now, the plan is that they are testing how secure Monero actually is. So these Qubic miners are able to go and mine on the Monero chain and then change it. That's what they're planning on doing, just for the heck of it, like just for shits and gigs, right? So they have been doing it. The Monero people are like, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it. But then it seemed like they did. There's some argument about whether or not they did get 51% or not. However, over the last 24 to 48 hours, they managed to give Monero its largest reorg yet and erase 36 minutes of Monero's transaction history. So 18 blocks were erased or changed, which 2 minutes a block, 36 minutes. And if you'd have sent Monero to somebody during that time, that Monero would have been magically transported back to your wallet. They just changed it. They had the longest thing. There was some 118 transfers in that time, and it's their deepest reorg yet. What does this mean for Monero on the bigger scale? It means that something must be done, because we can't have a situation where there is a chance that the last 36 minutes can be reorged. That would mean that anytime you make a transaction to somebody, you're going to have to wait at least an hour, let's say. And even then, there is no promises, because if these guys manage to pull off a 2 hour reorg and someone's paid you for something and then 2 hours later the money's back in their wallet, then you're in trouble. But this is an interesting story that is developing. Somewhat bad news for Monero. Some people think. I think it's good for them, because I think what this
Bit of
does is,
healthy competition.
yeah, and it battle tests their network, so people know the actual state of it. There will be no surprises. We know that this is possible now with Monero, and they need to find a way to fix it. People are trying to fix it, including a guy I know called Kayaba, who has become one of the most respected, I'd say, developers in the Monero community. And he's got some ideas on how we can mitigate these sorts of things. I say we, because this would generally be good for crypto. If Qubic, this tiny little project, can mess with the Monero network, imagine what China can do if they try to. Imagine. There are a lot of people who would or could have a vested interest in undoing what happens on this network, if only to take back money that had been stolen and then laundered through here, which did happen and does happen quite often. Recently, there was a massive hack. I think we even done a show, we discussed it. And that hack, the attacker moved all the money through Monero and spiked the price.
Yeah.
So that's one we'll be keeping an eye on. If anything else does happen in the next week or so, I will be sure to keep everybody updated. But yeah, Qubic have blacked Monero's eye with their recent antics.
Very nice. Right. Shall we go into our predictions?
Got my notepad and pen ready and waiting.
So. I think we had a slightly better week this week. Where is the Monday?
We were at 112.
Yeah, down here. And I'm going to give it to us, okay? We both said 117. We went to a high of 116.791. So starting off pretty well there.
Surprise, surprise, we ranged because interestingly enough, we've come back down. So if we'd have set a short at 118 or 117, oh no, we wouldn't have activated it. If we'd have set a short at 116, we would have touched it and we'd be in the money now.
Same sort of story with ETH when we were talking about it. Where were we? About 4,300?
Yeah, 4.3.
Yeah, we targeted 4.7. What was it? 4.8?
4.8.
Yeah, and we went to a high of 4,768. So again, I'm going to give that to us. 2 out of 2 so far.
Literally right on the money.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'd think that we've been doing this for years, wouldn't you?
Yeah. WorldCoin. It continued to pump from the Monday, which was this big green candle that you can see on my screen here. And he's slowly starting to drift. So I think had you given us maybe another week, I think we'd be correct there as well.
Yeah.
But is what it is.
We are almost back where we started. So we was at 143. Yeah. It's gone all the way up to 220.
Yeah, 220.
Pretty much. And then come all the way back down to 143. I think we put on a short there and got smashed immediately. I think
probably. Well, the key thing now. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, but now it's going back to where it was, and I believe it's a meme coin.
Yeah, key thing now though. So if you're looking to buy this, and what's quite interesting is you see this massive trend line we have of lower highs and lower lows. We could be on the verge of breaking that, and you'll also see that we have this horizontal support. So what's crucial in the coming days is that we look to hold probably around the 143 to 150 area as support.
Yeah.
If we were to do that, or to be honest, this is where you buy.
Yeah.
So on this retest, this is where you buy if you're looking to take a position in World.
Yeah. Do you know what? That looks really good.
It does, doesn't it?
Even to the naked eye, yeah, that one's quite a clear one. That would be a change of trend.
Indeed.
Change of trend is looking.
So then we had redo. So what was the date of the Monday?
We was at 75 or 7.5 cents.
So probably this is the 10th. Was it Monday the 10th?
I don't know. No, 7 minus 15.
8th. So it was here, this red candle here. So we kissed mine at 10 cents and was slightly off yours. 2 cents off.
I'll let you have that one.
Yeah. Why not?
I was overly bullish. Surprise, surprise.
Overly optimistic.
Yeah.
And then finally
SPX. I think we
both SPX. Did we both go for 150 again?
Yeah.
Nailed it. Much better week this week on predictions. And what I can potentially see here, depending on what happens in the next couple of days, but there is a left shoulder here. If you've spotted that, you could class that as a head, and this could potentially be a right shoulder. If and when that is formed, if it does form and breaks out, you'd be looking going back to all-time highs of 220.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You also want to be looking for a break of that diagonal line there, but you could also say that this is a descending triangle with which are typically bearish patterns, should I mention? So we'd have to see. But pretty good week that week. What was that? 4 out of 5 for me?
You got 4 out of 5, yeah. I got
3 out of 5 for you?
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah,
like it.
Good. That one was a bit easier, I thought, though, because Bitcoin was at
We were
112.
low, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I realised that one was
I
a
think
bit
that was easier to call. Like we're kind of mid-range now, so it's kind of
This one's
50-50. Do
gonna
we
be hard, yeah.
reach for the 120 or do we go back down to 110? Although to be fair, I could see like on Wednesday, tomorrow is probably just another day of chop, and then Wednesday you have like bang bang. So you
or
could
the
have one candle which is like it's 120, but also wicks down to 110.
or the other way,
Yeah,
down up.
yeah. Either way, but again, I wouldn't worry about what happens on the day. I'd wait for the weekly close.
Right. Let's get our predictions in then.
All right. So what do we like this week? Obviously, we'll keep Bitcoin, ETH. I'd like to do hype.
Okay.
Just because we mentioned the DAT, which is a hype DAT.
Can we do Monero?
Yeah, is that XMR, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's not on thing though. I don't
Not
think we
on Hyperliquid.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Okay. Yeah. True.
And then one more. Should we do Doge?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Seeing as we mentioned it at the start.
Yeah.
Right. So Bitcoin, what are you thinking, sir?
120.
Ooh. Damn.
What have we done? BTC, ETH, Hype, what, and Doge?
XMR, Monero, and Doge. 120, 120, 120.
120. I think Wednesday, Powell comes out and he just flutters around on the stage. Ooh, dovish, 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 dovish. Ooh. And
Oh,
then
I mean,
we
we've got this
rip.
inverse head and shoulders at play. Did I point this out last week? I want to say I did. If I didn't, I definitely pointed it out on my market update, which I put in the Telegram.
See, the thing is, how much alpha can you give in 1 hour show?
There's not enough time.
There's not enough time.
And look, that head and shoulders gives you your target of 120.
There you go.
Like pretty much bang on.
There you go.
And we've had that breakout retest there. Yeah, you don't want us to fall below this 114, really. Oh, it's so difficult, and you've gone bullish, so I want to go bearish.
Who
Right,
shall I
okay.
go
What I
bearish?
think will happen, I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna think. I think we get a wick down to like 112, so that yellow line. But I then think by Monday we could finish at like one. We could finish near yours. So I think we could get a very sharp down up like in a day. So I'm gonna
Yeah, so I know what you want to say is you want to say 118, but
yes,
you
but
know
I
we're
want
too
to get the
close to it.
path correct. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna go 112. Is that allowed or is that too close?
you can go 112, yeah, because it's against momentum. So I'll let you
Okay.
have it.
112 for me, but I definitely think we could finish at you. So I think it's a scenario where we could both be correct.
Okay, I'm going to put 112 and I'm going to put 118 in brackets
Okay.
so that I'll remember what you said.
Now for you, sir, on ETH.
Oh,
He's been trading differently.
yeah, ETH. Suppose the DATs are going to keep buying, aren't they? And there's going to be
Yeah, we
more
still have big
turning up.
flows. I mean, look, if you look at not that, but this. If you look at the ETH flows as of the 12th, we have 405 million flowing on the 12th,
Yeah,
which was
yeah,
Friday. And Bitcoin
yeah.
had 642, so they're not exactly slowing down.
I think the issue we've got with ETH at the moment is it's not really being used for anything. We need a NFT season or something for those fees to spike.
Yeah, we need something to happen. Although I've just noticed, I might have to get my RSI cheat sheet out quickly. But that red line, am I right in saying that that is a bearish divergence? Let's have a look quickly. I always forget what's what here. So what have we got? We've got RSI with a lower low. We've got price with a higher high. So indicator, lower low, price, higher high. Okay, that's a hidden bullish divergence. There you go. You got a hidden bullish divergence on ETH,
So
which
what
is
does that
good.
mean? What does that mean in English?
Bullish. If I say bullish, you think bull, price go up. Bearish. So it's on the left hand side here. You see how it says bullish.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at the indicator, which is the RSI. that is this here. So this low in the RSI on 19th of August is lower than the low we put in on the 6th of September. Okay, but we've got price on that date higher at those points. So if we go to our RSI cheat sheet, we've got indicators making a lower low, but we've got price making a higher high. So that is what they class as a hidden bullish divergence.
All right. So I'm allowed to go bullish, am I?
Yeah, they can take a bit of time to play out, but yes.
4,000 and let me say 900. Let me say we break out of that thing there.
900, so there.
Yeah. I should just say 4,800 and collect the winner, shouldn't I? But that's not, there's no...
We've kind of already been there.
Yeah, it's a bit easy, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I'll say 4,900.
I actually think, it's so difficult. We're bang in the mid-range. Because if we hold support here, if we hold support here at 4.5, we go to yours. But if we don't, we're coming straight back to 4.2.
If you didn't say the bullish thing and I just looked at that, I would have said 4.2.
I'm going to join you. I'm going to join you at 4.9. Although I actually want to add to my ETH short, like if we come back up here. But let's see. Hype. What do we think?
Oh my gosh, hype is the unstoppable hype.
It's a beautiful chart as well, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It just keeps going. I can't see how they slow it down because it's actually got massive revenues.
Yeah. You're in this lovely channel as well.
Yeah.
Here.
Go on then. Give me 60.
60.
Yeah.
Right. So in a week, that's quite a big ask.
But I think we get a big Wednesday.
Yeah, it's volatile week though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we get a big Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go slightly more bullish and say 62.
Wow. Okay.
Only a tad.
Yeah, but it's not like you.
No, it's
You're
not.
normally the voice of reason.
Yeah. But I'm bullish hype.
Yeah, you are. You have been for a long time.
Yeah.
XMR, what do we think?
Well, look at this. Let's have a look at this.
Interesting.
Well, look at that. Cup and handle. Massive cup and handle.
It seems like the bad news hasn't slowed this thing down. No one cares that this nobody chain has managed to smash 36 minutes off of Monero's life.
We've broken out of the downtrend as well. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to stick with where our previous target is, and I'm going to go 380.
That's huge. 20 odd %.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, it's a sector that has had literally no talk about it at all.
Privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if that's maybe the next thing.
It's another one of those ones that has a genuine use, though. A lot like
Yeah.
Hype, where people, if they're stealing, they will use Monero. It is the place to go and wash your money. I wonder if the newly allowed stable coins brings more money into the sector, which also pushes the price of Monero as the go-to means to wash your money.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay, I'm gonna say 360.
360.
380 was a bit much for me. I think you may have lost your mind.
We can't trade it. That's why I've got a bit abnormal on that one.
Okay.
Doge.
I think Doge moves this week.
What big again?
I'm gonna say 32 cents.
Ooh. Where do I want to go? Okay, I'm gonna be a bit bullish again. I'm gonna go 34.
Doge is
34.
Doge just feels to me like such a stick-on winner.
Well, haven't we got Doge DATs now?
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to come out this week?
I think so.
Or the last week?
I think it's this week. I don't actually know.
So yeah, Doge DATs are going to help push up the price of Doge as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that spree we saw was the starting of the buying.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to move anyway. We've been waiting on Doge on D-Day for some
Again, kind of what I'm thinking to go. So along with what I said with hype and kind of Bitcoin, like we come down then go up.
Just as we mentioned Doge, somebody's commented on the Instagram live. Do we know Doggy, the first meme coin on Doge?
Never heard of it. I didn't even know you could have meme coins on Doge.
I think Doge have their own network, don't they?
I know they have their own network, but I didn't know there's other memes on it.
Their own L. Well, I guess they could probably have. I guess they could have not coloured coins, but some equivalent. But I think they've also got their own L1. I'm sure that there's a Doge based
Maybe.
L1. Yeah.
No, never heard of it. We could have a look at it on the charts in a minute, though, if you wanted.
Nah, we'll look at it next week. It might
week.
become one of our gems of the week.
What I'm thinking, though, as a trade idea for Doge and the others was, to be fair, I mean, for us and our task in a moment is more specific, but if Doge was to come back to like that 25.5, or kind of, to be fair, like you'd buy it now, you'd have your stops at like 20 cents, and that's where you look for the long. But because we're trading from 1 week to 1 week, I'd be really picky. Oh,
I don't think we see 20 again.
no, I think 20's out the question. I think you look like to place a long order at 25.5, 25.6, and then you look for it to be triggered. Like if you get the gift of 25 cents, bomb.
Yeah. Bite their hands off. Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Time to trade. Let me see.
What was your trade last week, by the way?
Oh, I don't know, but that's not a nice look.
Let me have a recap. So just to remind everyone, the trades for last week was no, okay, I didn't do it.
SPX long.
Yeah, I didn't do the trade post. Naughty.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I can't see it on my Instagram.
I think you did, mate.
The latest one I've got is episode 43, where we did the World Liberty Finance short on a fart coin long.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless I made it but never posted it.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so we done a world coin short, which got stopped out for a loss.
Surprise.
Loss. Yeah. I don't. You know what? Week by week, sometimes you're not wrong. You're just too early or too late. So maybe we should have put a thing on there to enter at 180 or whatever. Anyway, so that one got stopped. We also put a Fartcoin long, which I think was our monthly one. That's sitting at about evens now, slightly up. Oh, do you know what? Let me share my screen. What am I doing? What are you doing with your life, Crypto.Si? There we go. So here's our Fartcoin. We are literally funding for it is an arm and a leg, though. It's quite expensive.
Yeah.
And with our SPX, we are slightly up. We also put
close it quick.
Well, if we'd have closed it at 125, we would have seen some real returns.
But, well, is what it is.
But we didn't. Right? Why is it asking me? Why are you asking?
You need to enable trading.
Right. Bosh. Market. Close.
Give me that dollar.
Right, we will leave Fartcoin open. Our balance is at $101.
To where we started.
Apparently, really good traders, if you're like exceptional, you can stay alive doing perps.
It's true, because 95% of traders lose money.
Yeah. So we are in the magic 5%. What we need to be, though,
is in that 1%.
We need to be, I think it's probably less than 1%. We need to be in that small area of that make money. I don't think we're going to be able to if we're doing it always Monday to
It's Monday. A marathon, not a sprint.
And also, I should have paid attention. And when SPX was at 150, I should have said in our group, should we close it? Because I know our wafflers would have been, yes, take
all over that.
They would have been all over that, yeah. All right, so let's get our trades on today, sir. What do you want to trade?
I would like to trade It's between hype
I know what you're
and
going to
Doge
say.
for me.
Yeah. And they're both longs. You want to do a hype and I'll do Doge?
Yeah, okay, because I want to try and be fancy with it again and have like a limit order that's slightly lower.
Oh, and then what do you want our
What are
limit
we
price
at?
to be? We're at 52 at the minute.
Okay, can what I have? I'll do hype. Can I have a limit order on hype at $51? Actually, call it 51.2. 51.269. That's the special number.
Is that the special number, is it?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Actually, I'm looking at the wrong chart. I need to be looking at a hype chart because the thing's different.
What chart are you looking at?
Trading view, slightly different candle closes.
51.2 is quite close to where we are now,
Yeah.
52.
Okay, so on the hype chart, let me just change 4 hours. 50. Where's 51.2? 51.269.
I also think, although we see less action when we put in limit orders,
No, I like that number. It's actually perfect.
yeah,
Yeah,
stick with it.
leave it there.
We're going to need some take profit and stop losses then, please.
Could I have
Do you want to have your
stop losses at 48?
bit slim?
Bit wider, you reckon?
Yeah.
45.5? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
And then I would like take profit at. I'll go between both of ours, so I'll just do 61.
lovely. All right, I'm going to place that order. Looks about right to me. 3x.
That's good to me.
Limit order. Bosh. In you go. All right, and I. Oh, hold on.
It's a limit order, so it won't execute immediately. It should be in open orders, yeah.
Well played. All right, I will do Doge. I'm just going to whack it in here.
Where we are now.
Yep. I don't want to have a single week where we don't have anything to report because our limits didn't get bought in.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Take profit 33. I'll also split the difference.
Nice.
That's a big old gain. And stop loss at 22. Nah, too wide. 3.5.
23.5. Oh, that's tight.
You think so?
I'd give it a little more to the downside, like 23. What's 23?
23 is 40%.
Okay, 23.250.
Can't I just put 19 knowing full well it won't touch that? But if it does, we're in trouble.
Yeah, it's unlikely though, isn't it? I'm happy for you to do 19.
Yeah. If Doge goes to 19, we would have had that spectacular September clear out that you've called for.
Do you know what? I think, see, this is that Doge is at the point where I'd be happy to say, like, we could put a big limit order in, like, for next month,
Yeah.
down at like that 20 to 23 cents range.
Yeah.
If that gets hit, that's what we trade for the month. But then again, we're on it weekly, so it's not like we'll miss it.
And that if Doge goes back to 19 or 20, I'm buying the hell out of it.
What's stopping you from doing that now? It's only 6 cents.
25%, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nothing. You should have been like me. I've got a lovely average price of 12 cents.
Yeah, I know. You accumulated that at a time
Years.
when, yeah.
Years. Literal years of accumulation of Doge.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this. 19 is my stop loss. So I've got a really dangerous wide stop loss.
I like it. I like it.
Let me place this order and let's get situated.
Let's go. I'm gonna make you want a market order. I know you've done it. You've done it. Right, okay.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, I thought you'd set a limit order.
No. I'm just gonna go in because I don't want us to have a week where we both got limits and neither of our limits get touched. So we should do one limit, one market.
Yeah. I'm trying to recreate the World Liberty Finance short.
Yeah, that was so magnificent, wasn't it?
I think that was probably the best trade I've ever done. Like, that was pinpoint perfection.
Yeah, that was definitely the best trade we've done so far on this.
Like I've had ones where they've hit my limit like perfectly before, but I've never got out like so close to the bottom like we did when we called that community vote. Like that was perfect timing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still feeling ourselves from that one. Okay.
Well, that is it for this week, guys. So until next time, take care and we'll see you soon.
Yes.
Any
Let's.
questions actually before we go?
No, we just got a thing to check out doggy.market. Somebody was saying that's where you can find all the DRC20s, which are the Doge
Okay. Those
EVM.
tokens.
Yeah, doggy.market. Oh, do you know what? Actually, whilst I'm here, I guess we
Go
might
on,
as
have a
well.
look. Have a cheeky look.
Let's have a little. Let's have a little butcher's look. Oh, this looks horrific. Doggy.market. Yeah, I won't be wasting any time here. So this is the place you go to lose your money. Yeah. I wouldn't even click that. Floor price 1 Doge. 26. Yeah, okay. I've seen enough.
Seen enough for today.
I've seen enough.
I think I just prefer to hold the Doge token.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. This is for real, absolute degens would use a
Yeah,
site like this.
absolute filth.
There's a good 20 to 30% chance you click that, and it just
Change your wallet.
takes everything from your wallet. Yeah. So all right. I won't be sharing that link. The doggy market there.
Right, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, adios.